So next topic. This is uh, this is something I've been doing. It's not in the news, and this is the topic of Google versus Microsoft ecosystem. So I've been going back and forth between Google and Microsoft ecosystems. This is Here's why. This is frustrating that I want an ecosystem experience of Apple, but I don't want restrictions of iPhone and iPad. If iPhone and iPad had the same levels of freedom as macOS, I'd I'd love to be in the Apple ecosystem. Google ecosystem is good. Android, Google TV, Android TV, Google Nest speakers are great. But to complete the ecosystem, I have to switch to Chrome OS, Android tablet, and Wear OS watches. Why? Microsoft ecosystem is also good. Windows and Xbox are good mostly. Windows tablets are okay-ish. But the problem is Microsoft doesn't have direct presence in mobile, smartwatches, and smart speakers. They don't have platforms for those. So how do you pick these ecosystems? Well, I'd say switch to Microsoft for productivity, gaming, and software development. Switch to Google for phones, TV, and smart homes. Although recently, Google Assistant has had issues. Here's how Google can create their ecosystem. Put Chrome OS on tablets, but with ARM SoC instead of Intel Celeron processors. Launch desktop Linux operating system. Have local desktop apps with cross-platform sync instead of web apps. And call it Chrome OS Pro or Cyborg or something like that. Use your influence to put this operating system as default on laptops and pre-built desktops. Convince companies like Adobe Autodesk to put their software on your platform. Remember, Steam mostly works on Linux desktop operating system. Steam works, but Windows games that are on Steam, most of them work on Linux operating systems. So Google can use that to their advantage for this Chrome OS Pro or Cyborg operating system. And basically, they have to displace Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Office mostly. If they do that, Google ecosystem will be a complete ecosystem like Apple has. Here's how Microsoft can create their ecosystem. Buy the Galaxy Store from Samsung and also put it on every Chinese manufacturer's phone. Chinese services aren't used outside of China and they cannot compete with Apple's world-class services in China. But Microsoft can. Microsoft, unlike Google, operates in China. All Microsoft has to do is keep this new Microsoft Galaxy Store alive until Google eventually kills Google Play Store. They probably will at some point. They can also update Cortana by integrating Bing Chat into Cortana and join the Matter Alliance to increase smart home hardware support. And just put out a smart speaker with Cortana and the new Cortana that has the Bing Chat and Matter integration. Of course, it's easier for Google to create an ecosystem than Microsoft outside of China. Most people use Google services. Google Search, Chrome, Maps, YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive over their Microsoft equivalents. What Google has failed is to convince most of the world to switch to G Suite or Google Workspace over Microsoft Office and Microsoft 365. And Google hasn't made a proper desktop operating system that competes with Microsoft Windows and Apple macOS. Google also failed in high-end gaming with Stadia. Again, they went with the cloud instead of desktop. People are rejecting cloud and in favor of local. At this point, Google needs to go to people instead of waiting for people to come to them. But Google may not want to replace Microsoft completely, as it would make Google more powerful today than Microsoft of 90s in computing. This will only increase regulatory scrutiny against Google far more. So we are stuck with this fragmented experience with Google and Microsoft ecosystems.